Hey guys, what's going on? This is Xenox Gamer here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new and improved reworked Karma. I just want to go over her abilities really quickly, kind of in a separate portion of the video, and we have some gameplay both AP mid and support bottom that we can take a look at, and I'll go over some things there. So right now we'll just take a look at this, her abilities. So pretty much what they changed from the old Karma is her Q. Her W is kind of like the same thing, but it no longer grants movement speed. It's now a root, which is very good, and if you use the mantra version, it now heals you. She still has a shield. Her Q's changed a little bit, and her passive's different, but we'll take a look at this. So this is her mantra. So level 1 starts off at, well, we're level 3 now, but it's 43.2 seconds at level 3. I think it's 45 seconds if I, yeah, right. Anyway, so what our mantra does is when you activate it for the next 8 seconds, it adds an augmented effect to her other abilities. So pretty cool. The problem with this is she no longer has a damage dealing ultimate or anything like that. So that's the tricky part about Karma, is her abilities need to be good, but not too good without mantra, but they can't be so overpowered with mantra. It just completely imbalances the champion. And that's the problem that she had before. But this now, which is very interesting, is she actually only has 1 mantra charge, but they kind of made her kit a little bit different to compensate for that. Personally, I think it needs a buff and needs to be 2, because her mantra abilities are so important that you actually, I don't know, you need a lot to do stuff as her as a mage. The cool thing about having 1, which not really it's cool, but it just means that you now need to pick your ability appropriately, and if you don't, you get punished really hard. If you do, then you get rewarded very well. So we'll go into her passive next. So this reduces mantra's cooldown. Now this is for abilities and her auto attack as well. Her auto attack is half of the cooldown. This scales up to 1.5 seconds and then 2 seconds. Now the interesting about this in relation to the Q is that if you hit a Q, because it is AoE, you can see here, and it'll land, and if it hits multiple targets, then that is applied per target hit. So when it is up to 2 seconds and you hit, 2, 3, 4 people or whatever, you can get up to 10 seconds off your mantra, which, if you can hit things like that, her mantra cooldown is actually very low. The problem is you're very rarely going to be able to do that. So jumping into her Q, it is a skill shot. It has a slow attached to it, which is very nice. It's 25%, and this does not scale at all. So it is going to be a flat 25% the entire time. It is a 0.6 AP ratio, which is not too shabby. That's pretty much where her kit is entirely. Her shield is a 0.5, and her W is a 0.6 as well. The bonus effects are between 0.3 and 0.6, so overall her scaling is okay. Having this maybe do a little bit more damage without mantra would be okay, but because mantra later on adds so much bonus damage, it's amazing. So the mantra effect deals bonus magic damage. Now this scales up to 175 plus 0.3, so it is a 0.3 AP ratio on the bonus, and then the detonation damage, which it leaves a circle, which I don't know if it'll actually leave a circle here, but when it hits, yeah, it leaves a circle, then does some more damage. That scales off a 0.6. So her Q with mantra later on with some AP built as a mage is ridiculous damage. It's actually really good. It's on a very low cooldown. It's 6.72 seconds. CDR on her is very important, so I do recommend getting that. And that's pretty much about it for the Q. The slow goes up with that. That's pretty much about it. There's not too much about it really. It's just a general skill shot AoE damage ability that is her only damage ability to minions, which is a problem unless you mantra her E, which you're never going to want to do. So this now, her W, instead of it being a movement slowing, increasing ally kind of crap that it was before, which had the highest AP ratio of her kit, now actually roots them for 1 second if the link is not broken. If you mantra this ability, it now heals her for, well, it deals magic damage, a little bit more as well, but it also heals her for 25% plus 1% per 100 AP of her missing health. So you can still do some of the heal baits. It's not so much with a group anymore or with your team, but you can heal yourself. So it's not too bad. I rarely ever would mantra this for the most part, because the shield is too good, realistically. It does work, I mean, like, it is pretty good, but you have to wait till you're very low again to actually get the heal, and at that, I mean, you're an AP mage, like, or your support, you're gonna be squishy or semi-tanky for the most part, so you probably will just get bursted down anyway. So, taking a look at the E, it is a shield. It gives her movement speed now, which is fantastic. So in combination with her snare to keep up with your opponents, you can actually do your W. You can throw your shield on yourself to speed yourself up if you think they're going to get away and you need to land the root. So that combination is very awesome. But I think this late game, or later on I should say, is ridiculous if you mantra this. For me, it's between if I want to do a lot more damage with Q if I mantra, or if I want to give my entire team an AoE shield, which is fantastic, do damage to them, and increase their movement speed. Do damage to the enemy, sorry. So that's pretty much about it. So it is a single target shield. Gives you your shield, gives you your movement speed. It's a very short movement speed buff. I think it's 1.25 seconds. That the duration doesn't scale, but it does scale up to 60% movement speed, which is ridiculous. And then you can give that to your team as well. So it's basically like a kind of like a locket, to be honest, shield, which is really cool. So that if you have your jungler or your tank or whatever, or your top, get locket, that plus this is just a lot of extra shield that you can get for your team. And it actually does damage the same way it used to before if you cast it on an enemy and they're within the vicinity. If you actually it's that circle there, wherever you cast it on, so that's always something to keep in mind as well. So other than that, what I recommend for items for the most part is get as much CDR as you possibly can. The problem with her is that because it's you're basically spamming abilities a lot, she does go for the most part. So you can do stuff like ROA if you want, because you are going to be a little bit tankier. That being said, you're not going to do as much damage. She does have problems pushing. She also has problems, she's not a burst mage, so that's something right there. She's a utility mage and very heavy on the utility. So yeah, other than that, get into some gameplay and talk about some other things there as well. Alright, so some of the gameplay we have here is me playing Karma as support. Now, her shield isn't very important, which is something I would end up maxing first, because it does help protect your carry, increase the movement speed so you can get them out of sticky situations, and gives them a lot of extra effective HP. Her Q is on a decently low cooldown and does alright damage, so I would recommend Q spamming as much as you possibly can without going so that you have mana for a nice combo. But your role as a support is to protect your carry, and she can do so decently well. I think she'd be paired the best with Ezreal because her kit is designed for kiting for the most part. And this clip illustrates that decently well. Now, I'm not kiting him to the point where he can't touch me, but at the same time, he does have red buff, he is Nasus with Wither, and it is really hard for almost any champion to get away from him. But at the same time, with Snare, with Shield, I'm able to survive quite a bit. I can root him when I need to. I can cycle through my Q to keep him slowed, even though it's not that much of a slow. The nice thing is, if this were a huge team fight and he was focusing me like this, our team would have aced them already. Like, that is a good thing about Karma. Now, as an AP mage, she does have quite a few weaknesses for the most part. She does emphasize a lot in utility. She has a movement speed, she has a shield, she has a slow, all that good stuff. She can heal herself if she needs to, so she has a lot of that good stuff. The problem is she doesn't push very well. Like I said before, she has issues with that because you can't actually root anybody or any of the minions or anything like that to do a bit of extra damage. Her Q is her only damage source to minions, unless you mantra her E, which you can do to push. The problem is, if you get in a team fight without mantra, you're pretty much screwed for the most part. So saving your mantra, knowing when to use that, and on what ability is a key component to playing Karma. As far as build and items go, definitely recommend as much CDR as you possibly can. If you are winning your lane, Athene's Holy Grail is fantastic. Things like Morellonomicon would be good because of how much CDR you actually get, but if you're doing very well, you can never go wrong with AP. Getting that Athene should help with a lot of the mana problems that you will end up having for the most part, but other than that,
overall, I really enjoy her. She's really fun, and I think she just needs a few little buffs here and there, maybe to her mantra or her base abilities themselves, and she can be actually a decent AP mage. She is heavy utility, but at the same time, sometimes that in a team fight is exponentially better than just a ridiculous amount of damage. Alright guys, so thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you want to rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, it would be great. And I'll see you guys in the next video.